This fly is called a donkey. It's one of my absolute favorites. It's just a very simple medium-sized Beatis pattern. So I start this fly with a size 14 24-57 hook and a tungsten copper color bead, rusty brown 6/0 thread, and I'm going to start this thread actually before the bead instead of after the bead. And why I do that is I add this piece of thin skin. The thin skin is going to be the wing case, and it's actually going to cover the top of the bead as well. I want to build up a thread fly head before I start back behind the thin skin. So after that, I fold this thin skin forward. I give one wrap behind it. I pull the bead forward, and I put a thread wrap over the top of the bead to where it'll lie underneath the thin skin. A few locking wraps. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take extra small black wire as a ribbing. And a 0.5 millimeter clear piece of magic stretch. With this magic stretch, what I like to do in order for it to lay down flat on the hook is I just quickly tap it with a lighter, and that flattens it out and lets me tie it in smoothly. As I wrap back, I'm going to pull on this magic stretch in order for it to lay flat and thin. I'm going to keep it down on the side of the hook and wrap back to the bend. For the tail, I'm just going to use a simple pheasant tail, about 4 or 5 fibers evenly matched up. I want that tail to be about the same size as the body of the fly. The orange thread is going to be the base to create the color underneath this magic stretch. After I've wrapped that thread forward, I start out with very tight wraps of the magic stretch, and then as I get towards the front of the fly, I'm going to loosen my grip, and it'll create a taper in the body. Next, I'm going to take this black thread and I'm just going to wrap it between the segments of the magic stretch to give it a contrasting segmentation. For legs on this fly, my favorite legs, while I've used many kinds, have been these daddy long legs by Hairline. I find that for a rubber leg, they're very, very durable. For this specific fly, I've been using brown legs. Black legs look really good as well, but I'm going to illustrate it with a small brown rubber leg. I wrap that around the fly. This is just a very simple technique to get your legs to fall in there, and then it's going to create 2 legs on either side. Do one more wrap, and now I'm going to take my bobbin and wrap this thread behind those legs so I can add some dubbing. Before I get going, I'm going to trim these legs. I like to keep them a little long, just so they're not too short. Now I'm going to take a brown dubbing. I like the lighter dubbing, the real thin stuff, just because it sits down nicely, doesn't mess with the way the legs stick out from the body of the fly. We'll pull those legs out of the way, give a couple wraps in the back, go forward, separate the legs, put a couple wraps in between, and then pull them all back and finish it off. Okay. Next step is I'm going to take that thin skin, pull it back, give 2 wraps on top, then I'm going to whip finish. Just 3 whip finish wraps. Snip that. Now I'm going to cut a V in the thin skin to look like 2 wing buds, like so. That one. There we go. Now I'm going to take some clear goo or any kind of high quality UV resin. I realize clear goo is out of business. I still have some left. I'm going to get a nice dab of that to put on top of that wing case. Drop it on there, zap it. I'm going to flip it over, get the bottom. And we're done. That is the donkey.